Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another. Oh, no, I got microphone. Turn that one off. Yeah, good to go. Well, I was talking to myself this morning, Captain Leonard. I was talking to myself. I said, "What in the world is going on? What is going on? What? It's Monday morning, brother. It is Monday morning." But this is another episode of The Morning Glow, and I want to thank everybody for joining us and continue to spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, that everybody know we're here. But before we go another step further, I got to say good morning to my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Captain Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Hey man, everybody's doing good. Let me see. I have the catch up. Been okay on two songs. He got to catch up at work. He just sent me a message there.
Okay.
Then I want to ask you a question,
Yes, sir.
and I certainly want to hear your heart on this question. Ever since that Rick, I can't never say the little young boy's name right, man. Rittenhauer, Rickenbacker, what's his name? What's his name, Leonard? The young guy that got
Written, Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. Yeah, ever since he was acquitted and was able to walk free. I've heard all kind of things, man, and folks are saying that's why this and that's why that and that. And I need you to tie this thing together for me, man, and tie this thing together for our listening audience. They're saying that if the system gonna keep doing the things that they're doing and doing what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it for certain individuals, what is the point? Why should I vote? They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. Leonard, man, listen. I know your heart on this right here. I know how you feel about this whole voting situation. I share that with you, but explain to them. They're saying that they shouldn't vote because of the fact that if a situation like this is going to happen and these people are going to get off anyway, why should they vote? That's their question. Answer that for me.
Well, first of all, voting has nothing to do with why you upset, really, with the Rittenhouse case. You're
Mm-hmm.
upset with the Rittenhouse outcome because of the historical context involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's why many people are upset. Some people are upset with the Rittenhouse case due to the behavior of some of the actors in the case. Say,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, the behavior of the judge, the defense attorney, and the prosecutor. There's lots of
Mm-hmm.
reasons why you may be unhappy with this case,
Mm-hmm.
but the the deranged part is somehow you associate it with you no longer have to do what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That needs to be disconnected. The vote is a civic duty given to citizens of the United States of America in order to be, quote, self-governed.
Mm-hmm.
So trust me, when you stop voting, you stop mattering.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Who cares if you don't vote? Why would anyone care if you didn't vote? That's what you
Mm-hmm.
should think about. Think about, why are you voting? Like I said, for instance, these people who harp on and on and on about one problem out of 99.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Come on.
Intelligent, rational individuals focus on the 99
Mm-hmm.
reasons, not the one. So
Mm-hmm.
people got to get out of their feelings, educate yourself on how the legal system works. Some of you have been a part of that legal system
Mm-hmm.
in one way or another.
In one way or another. Absolutely. Absolutely.
This notion that you somehow you just out here escaping the system or something is a fantasy in your head.
Mm-hmm.
There's several different types of law: civil, criminal, contractual law. What's the other one? I missed one. So I said civil, criminal, contractual law. There's another
Mm-hmm.
one. Um, However, you have to understand that this don't evade you of the responsibility that you have to vote.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
Well,
If they ain't got what you want at the grocery store when you go, you don't just go without eating that day, do you?
mm-hmm. No,
But you still got
no.
to eat to live, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
that is my very point. And so also people have to understand, if you don't vote, you usually don't get selected for a jury duty.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't know that. How many times have you people tried to get out of jury duty? You could have saved a person's life.
Yep. Yep.
Because what if they sit there and put how many people they had on this jury? 11, uh, one minority, right?
One minority, just one.
Now, how do you think you would have fared if you were on trial?
Not very well. With
Not with 11 white folks that probably, what if they didn't like black people?
mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, what if you were one of those jurors that had made a racial comment in a case?
Mm-hmm.
Which means you're not even listening to no evidence. All you see is the color of the people accused.
Exactly.
And you believe that all
Mm-hmm.
people of that color are guilty
Mm-hmm.
anyway. That's a preconceived notion based on race.
Or you have that idea, like one of our ex-presidents said, well, they didn't do that, but they did something. They did
And
something.
think about it. It's like this because we have allowed wicked white racists to run America.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
written. It's evident that they wrote a lot of things, a lot of
Yeah.
law and things like that. They're still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why
Until
they're still doing it is because one, you're allowing them to do that.
mm-hmm.
The notion that you get a person that is non-sympathetic to your point of view or your interest in a public office, you got to show up in numbers against those individuals. That's
Exactly.
the fight. That's what the fight is
Mm-hmm.
about. How are you going to win? Not why
Mm-hmm.
you keep. You got to figure out why you losing and come up with a strategy to win. And the strategy is not voting.
Yeah. Yeah.
The strategy
But
ain't long as I got this money, everything okay.
you know what, Leonard, and one of the things that was real disheartening, and one of the reasons why I really wanted to talk about this morning is because it was a younger generation that was feeling this way.
Right,
That
because
was
they're immature.
mm-hmm. They
That's
kept
why.
saying they kept saying, and I heard so many of them saying, "Well, that's right," and they was in agreement. Man, why are we gonna vote? And they had the little thing going on. They gonna do what they want to do. Look at this man. He done went there and he done shot 3 people, killed 2, and he's able to walk. That's murder, blah blah blah. And they kept saying, That's why I don't vote. That's why I don't vote. See, and they try to
That
make
ain't
a
why you
point.
don't vote. You don't vote
Mm-hmm.
because you trifling. That's why you don't vote. You don't
Mm-hmm.
vote because you have a misconceived notion on how things work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that is a sign of immaturity as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because as fathers and husbands, we know that one, we have to continually do things to make them better.
Mm-hmm. Putting your solo for a second minute.
Okay. We have to continually do what is best for the future. Now, you disappointed for today, but what about tomorrow? And as a matter of fact, that particular issue does not even affect your life in so much as Rittenhouse's life. Remember, Rittenhouse was the one on trial. He had every right to present the defense that he wanted to present. The issue is those things that allow loopholes in the justice system that work to some people's benefit, especially to those people's benefit who have the ability to afford the best defense attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about a situation as it relates to the legal system last night. And I used to make a comment even when I was a younger boy. Poor people ought to stay out of trouble
Yeah. Yeah.
because you ain't got no money.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the things that we fight against and why you should be voting because we still have to destroy this cash system.
Mm-hmm.
That means that innocent poor people sit in jail because they don't have the money to pay bail.
Mm.
Maybe they need that time before they go to court to secure proper representation. But they can't
Mm-hmm.
because they can't afford the money to get out on bail, like a
Exactly.
Rittenhouse,
Exactly.
whose
Exactly.
bail was set at about, I think, what, 200 million? I mean, excuse me, 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't no
Mm-hmm.
problem. That was
Yeah.
not. That wasn't even a problem for his supporters,
And they came together. And they
and
came
they
together.
came
And
together
yeah.
because they
Mm-hmm.
so support what he did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
this is an example to them to make them sort of believe that maybe they can do that too.
Mm-hmm. Leonard, what do you say to the people that say that this was a victory? And we spoke a little bit about this, I think, last week, if I'm not mistaken. Some people say that what happened with him was a victory for the white supremacists and people in that category. Would you agree with that?
Not so much as white supremacy, but the people, people who believe that they can take the law into their own hands and be judge, jury, and executioner, which is a
Mm-hmm.
characteristic of those that support white supremacy.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so it does not matter to me what your agenda was.
Mm-hmm.
It's the outcome. Is
Mm-hmm.
that one? It seems as if now I guess you can just pretty much take you a weapon and go out and decide to be the police.
Yeah.
See, because
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was against the law
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
misrepresent yourself as a law
Mm-hmm.
enforcement officer,
Impersonating
or
an officer.
even aligning yourself with the police force and using it to intimidate other people. This is
Mm-hmm.
the issue that people have to understand. Get out of your feelings and look at the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's the attack on the protests, which is what the people use to bring issues to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
You've
Absolutely.
seen what protest looks like when it's peaceful and it's about a certain objective. You've seen it all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if the side wins that believe you can take an automatic weapon
Mm.
and just menacingly proceed towards a crowd
Yeah. Yeah.
and start shooting and then claim self-defense when someone believes that you're the threat.
Mm-hmm. My question is, would you have to even worry about, or would it even be an issue of self-defense had he kept his behind at home?
No, it wouldn't at all. It would not have been an issue at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Yes, exactly.
This young white boy went
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and cashed in on his privilege is what he did.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
These people showed up to support him in money, made sure he had everything he needed to present a defense for himself, which he has
Mm-hmm.
every right to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He has every right to do that. And I'm sure he didn't want to lose that case.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we have to look at it. If you look at it from that legal standpoint, what is about this particular case that provided for him to be not guilty?
Mm-hmm. And you know what's amazing to me? If we're on this on here every day talking about football or foolishness and stuff like that, man, our phones will be blowing up. You know, it'll be blowing up. But when we're talking about real issues like this, man, for whatever reason, people love to shy away from stuff like this, man. They don't want to talk about it.
Because most people
Watch,
don't want to learn nothing.
exactly. Exactly. Watch this. My point. Watch this. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. Give us a call. We want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole situation that happened? Was this a victory for white supremacy or people that have that ideology in their mind? Was it a victory for them? What does this say about voting? I dealt with the young people over the weekend, and they were saying, "Look at the system. The system is so corrupt. Why should I vote? They're gonna do what they want to do anyway." It's the idea that they had. Give me a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. We love to hear from you. Give us a call. Tell us what you think. Looking for you over there as well. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about this thing. I think that's like Leonard said, man, it's foolishness to try and tie both of these together. I don't know what threads you're gonna use to even try to tie them together because it's two different things totally. But Leonard, talk to me, brother.
What you can do is become a great attorney.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. Matter
Mm-hmm.
of fact, you can go to law school, especially if you ain't but 18 or so anyway, getting ready
Yeah.
to graduate from high school. You
Mm-hmm.
can go to college for 4 years and you can come in and do the right thing. You can come in and help poor people that need your assistance. You can come
Exactly.
in and be a complete pro bowl owner for people that need your assistance to change the
Mm-hmm.
system if you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep allowing corrupt people to run the system will be corrupt.
Yes. Yes.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
issue. There are still a great deal of people in authority in the system that should have been out.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have neglected your duty over and over
And over and over.
and over, because half of the people running their mouth ain't votable maybe once or twice anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that's what the deal is.
I mean, you might be getting some credit if that often, if they voted at
Right,
all.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same reason that people would give when they're trying to neglect responsibility across the board.
Mm-hmm.
It's time out for believing that these things work on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you give in to the bully will continue to pick on you and take advantage of you every day.
Exactly.
But if you fight
Exactly.
back, he thinks twice about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, if he was really interested in getting a fair trial and you had issues or whatever, do you have legal insurance?
Mm.
Did you even learn anything about the law during the Rittenhouse trial that would made you want to go and search deeper into why a certain decision was made?
Mm-hmm.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you want to go look at certain gun laws? See, maybe if there was a gun law that you couldn't carry those automatic weapons, it
Mm.
wouldn't have happened as well. Where did he get the gun?
Exactly.
How did he get it? Did he,
Mm-hmm.
if he lived over here, did he have to need a license to have it over here? Because I know
Mm.
I got a license in Georgia.
Yeah.
That that
Yeah.
that don't give me the permission to carry in Michigan,
Exactly.
because there's no
Mm-hmm.
and then even then there wasn't even a reciprocal agreement out on there, which a reciprocal agreement, which means a lot of these some states have them, where if Georgia allows me to carry a gun, and Alabama will,
Mm-hmm.
like a fishing license almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They may, because you got one in Georgia and you go right there across the Alabama line, you get a little discount for the days because they know you from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes states share those types of laws. Do you think that is fair?
No.
Some people may or may not. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge investment for people who invest in the weapons issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna vote for them candidates that just let me go get a gun from anywhere I want, anytime I want. I don't gotta go fill out no form or nothing like that. It's okay for my friend to give me an automatic weapon when I go to his state,
Mm-hmm.
to carry around with me to extol my justice on people.
Mm. And look at the idea of this whole thing, man. Why would you? What reason? What average normal person want to walk up and down the street with a weapon like that in your hand?
A
What's the
person that
purpose behind
a person that wants to intimidate and terrorize people.
it? Mm-hmm.
That's plain and simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
You can say what you want and feel how you feel. Violence begets violence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You went after a crowd with a loaded weapon,
Mm-hmm.
a weapon designed to do what? Kill
Kill.
in mass.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You went towards the crowd, but you're defending yourself when someone tries to stop you.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Think about it.
Doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
self-defense. White people
Mm-hmm.
are known for starting stuff and then hollering self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
especially in court.
Absolutely.
How you start the fight, but then you claim self-defense. That's almost
Mm-hmm.
when you're in the act of a felony, thinking that you have some right in the commission of the felony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's the mentality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to look at. We've discussed this before. This Rittenhouse issue. We've always had discussions on not just the right to bear arms, but how you should bear arms.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain laws set up in certain places as it relates to what we call the castle doctrine here in Georgia. Some people go, right to protect your own self-defense of
Yes.
yourself and your property and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Then people want to get it, this. Remember that real dumb argument? Well, you can't shoot them in the back. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
Mm.
not?
If he's leaving out your house, you and you
Yeah,
like you shoot him, and then drag him back in and
but he
put
don't already broke in my house.
exactly. And the
So,
man got my TV, man. What you
so the
talking
thief,
about?
so the thief has the person bringing the terror
Mm-hmm.
has the right of way,
Yeah.
or should
Yeah.
I say the right of way?
Mm-hmm. Come on. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Tell us what you think about this whole situation. The young people, man, they're sidetracked a little bit. They're off centered a little bit because they don't think they need to vote. They don't think they need to vote because the system is so corrupt. Why they gonna do what they want to do? So why am I voting? You're voting to change the system.
Pretty much, because things change every day. They got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of people getting paid right at the Capitol building right now. That's what they do. When they
Hmm.
go down into the Capitol, guess what they doing? Changing laws
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
making ways for people who have expressed interest.
Hmm. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. I'm just a bill. So somebody got to pass these laws locally, on a federal level. Somebody have to be in charge of doing these things and making these things so it can make it better for all of us.
And just a word of the wise, that's why you need to stop electing people that don't want to work.
Exactly.
I don't care what color they are.
Mm-hmm.
If they the type to go along to get along, don't
Mm-hmm.
vote for them. I don't care how
Yeah.
black they are or who they
Mm-hmm.
represent.
Yeah.
If
Exactly.
they just get going along to get along, and you
Mm-hmm.
have watched them do this, go in there and vote for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there and vote for somebody else.
Wow.
Let people know when you're unhappy with the way they are leading.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. I bet you got a representative.
Exactly.
Even if you
Exactly.
don't know them, I bet you got one
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
represents where you live in your district.
Watch this here, Leonard. This is from one of our Facebook users. My friend is now saying he's going to vote Republican now because of Biden's decision.
I'm not sure what Biden decision that would be. He makes several of them.
Give us a person that made this comment right here. Give us a call. The phone lines are open. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Again, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have for you to expound just a little bit on what you mean by that, or what decision are you actually talking about. So give us a call. If you're available, give us a call. We love to hear from you. Go ahead, Leonard, man.
Because I'm not happy with some of Biden's decisions, but that
Mhm.
has nothing to that didn't even come close to making me want to vote Republican. So
Yeah.
we have to deal with that type of mentality first, because,
Mhm.
like I said before, there's some miseducation and immaturity in such a comment.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow. Yeah, she said she's definitely said her friend. My friend is now saying he's going to vote Republican now because of Biden's decision, and I would love to
Right.
hear what decision that is that we're speaking of. What decision did he make that make you want to change your whole party?
Yeah, because it probably ain't even got nothing to do with them at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably
Mm.
just how they feel. If they go take a shower, they might feel better.
Are you trying to say they're dirty?
I'm
Not
just
dirty,
saying.
but dirty.
I'm just saying, when you result to wanting to lay down with the hog,
Mm-hmm.
what is that? What is that? Man, I ain't got no time
Wow.
for that.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521.
Your
Let you hear
solution is to go get in the sty with the hog.
the pig sty. The pig sty. You go in and come out. Boy, I wonder how clean you gonna come out. But anyway, Leonard, did you hear about the situation? I think it was in Wisconsin, where the man, I guess he was running from the police or whatever. There was a parade going on, and he paraded down the road, man, and he killed about quite a few people, man.
Mhm.
You hear about that?
No, I've I've heard of cases,
That happened
but
yesterday.
I can't say that that's the one. I
Mhm.
can't.
Yeah, it's supposed to have been a Christmas parade they was having, and the guy, they say he was running from police for whatever reason, and he went. Man, he was driving a red SUV. They showed on the news this morning, a
Mhm.
red SUV, and he went plowing down the road, man, and hit and killed or hit. They say hit and killed quite a few people,
Mhm.
injured more than that.
Mhm.
Man, these people, folks are getting crazy around here, man.
Well, you got remember we had one guy thought it was perfectly okay just to drive his car straight through protesters.
Exactly, exactly.
You
Reading,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. We just hear from you, Leonard. This is our public citizen.
Rittenhouse says he is not a racist and supports BLM. Does not sound like a white supremacist to me. Sounds like a dumb kid and a wannabe cop. You're probably correct. You're probably
Hmm.
correct. Like I said, he's very young. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows why he did what he did? You know, they're already talking about giving him a job on the police force, so now he can kill you legally.
Exactly. There's a couple of senators that said they want to give him an intern position
Of
on their
course,
side.
because they support individuals that believe that they have a right
Mm-hmm.
to exact justice on
Mm-hmm.
everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
That's the issue. Remember, now that's the issue
Mm-hmm.
that you can say kind of plays a part in a lot of cases like this.
Mm-hmm.
They always say somebody else was doing something that they needed to control.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I'm against the entire citizens arrest
Yeah. Yeah.
philosophy,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
especially when we pay the police so much money.
Exactly. Exactly.
Especially when we pay the police. Why, if you saw somebody in the commission of crime, wouldn't you call the police?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you do that unless you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do?
Exactly. You got your own agenda.
Right. You wanted to play games with the person first.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to threaten and get your licks first. But see,
Mm-hmm.
what if that person don't lay down? What if I'm just walking down the street minding my own? Because sometimes walking in certain neighborhoods that are predominantly white, people will attempt to harass you just doing that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if you own a house in the neighborhood or not.
They don't care
Because
about
they
that.
don't even understand how you can own a house in their neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they don't told the realtors and they got a homeowners agreement and everything. They used to say that one, black folk couldn't live over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's America.
Mm-hmm.
That's America. We
Yes,
have
sir.
that historical context attached and it leaks off into the law. And it can no longer say black people can't do this, that, or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But what it can say, and it can protect people who think that way. So it gives you this doctrine of self defense for you to use. But you can talk to a lot of lawyers who have tried to use it in other situations. And for some situations, it doesn't seem that big of an issue like it is with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're looking at the case of the murder of Ahmaud Arbery.
Mm-hmm.
Same excuse.
Exactly. Exactly.
I went looking for it. I'm the aggressor, and I'm going to start a situation, and then I'm going to use self defense to get off. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think people have an issue with self defense, but they have a problem because they got a whole pile of cases over here where it was clearly self defense, but the person was charged with a crime. But then again, hey, who are the people actually winning these cases? They're predominantly a certain group of people. So this particular disparity has to be looked at, just like the disparity in sentencing as it related to crack and powder cocaine. Why do we continue to do these things as an electorate, and then the people pretend as if they have no clue how it happened? The majority of people in power that support these types of issues allow them to continue until you get a person in there who is about changing that system. The grand jury system that we have here as it relates when we're talking about police brutality and holding police accountable for their behavior, and also how qualified immunity is also tied into this legal framework. If I only allow one side to present evidence, what side is most likely to win? The side presenting, what would it hurt if we had both sides in the matter present? That makes a huge difference. What if we get rid of those laws that allow the suppression of evidence. That makes no sense to me unless someone is trying to hide something or the truth is damaging to the case. Everybody does not want to be exposed. There are people who seal documents for a reason. That's another issue. Sealed documents. Well, why is the document sealed? The document is sealed so it can't be used against a person down the line. Some people have a problem with that. I particularly am a person to believe that one, truth should be brought up front, especially if you're innocent. But this is not the concern. Everybody that goes to court, it's not whether they did it or not. It's can it be proved?
Mm-hmm.
That's one. So I look at this particular case, first of all, from several different points of view. Definitely because of the self-defense issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, if you go out, you have to we want to make sure that everybody is being treated the same that is claiming self-defense.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, one, you got the video where the guy goes in and grabs the girl and throws her into the TV set.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to know why? Do you
Mm-mm.
need to know why, really?
No. No. I no.
Because you saw what happened.
Exactly. It's right there.
What justifies that behavior? What?
Nothing.
You would think nothing would
Yeah.
justify that
Yeah.
behavior.
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Be based on what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some people that would gladly argue. What did she say?
Mm.
Maybe he was on medication. Maybe he was under the influence of something else that made him act out of the ordinary. See, those are the people who are not concerned with the outcome but making excuses for individuals who behave in such a manner.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, if you're the accused, your main concern usually is what?
Getting off.
Getting off.
Yeah.
Getting
That's it.
off.
That's
That's
it.
all you
I mean,
concerned with.
That's your whole objective. Getting off, getting free, walking free.
So the defense attorney earned his pay.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Mm-hmm.
prosecution of the matter which allowed it to slip through, that legal framework.
Mm-hmm.
But in philosophically, as it relates to law, the
Mm-hmm.
juris the jurisprudence portion of it. Do as a society, do we want to have a law that continues to make these types of excuses
Mm-hmm.
for people that, especially like in this case, that take matters into their own hands?
Exactly.
Because one,
Exactly.
I'm not down with I'm making a citizen's arrest. I'm gonna put a bullet in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You can run up to me with that nonsense if you would like, thinking you're going to do anything to me to restrict my freedom, and I'm going to act accordingly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
So
have the right.
that's what we have to
So,
understand. We have to make some things illegal in order to get around these issues.
no,
But we
Yeah.
can't keep
Read
allowing
yourself. Read yourself,
we
Charles.
we can't keep allowing certain things to happen. The grand jury
Mm-hmm.
process, for instance, when we're unhappy with that, like I said, I was saying before when you were off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want a process that only allows one side to present information?
No. No.
Some people are
That's
completely fine with that though,
mm-mm. That's the injustice we're talking about.
because in their mind, the police are always right.
Mm-hmm.
The police should be believed because they're police,
Yeah.
and they're part of the staff anyway of the legal
Mm-hmm.
system.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Wow.
just let them come in here and tell their side of the story and take what they say up front without even hearing the other side.
Mm.
And we won't even bring this issue to a court.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Wow.
we have to change this perception, and the reason why it is this way is because we have people that are willing to go along with the system regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No one should
It's
have wanted people who sell crack to go to jail more than people who sold powder.
same thing.
But see, that's paid for already. See,
Yeah.
the people who voted, who were paid to vote and are paid to oversee this matter, they get their money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got you.
Just like the pharmaceutical industry. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same thing. It's pay to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't have
Exactly.
came up with 200,000 for your defense.
Mm-hmm. No.
You couldn't
No.
have. You had to take what they gave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You ever seen a person like Kyle Rittenhouse in there without proper defense?
Never.
Never.
Never. Never.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Privilege.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Privilege. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
make it at all about anything, I hear people talk about privilege. Use it when it's appropriate.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Use
Let me
it
go
when
to
it's appropriate.
absolutely. Let me and the phone. We got a call already. I'm gonna go to the phone line. Then we got Charles with us as well. We're gonna let him address his thoughts on what we're talking about. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Cassandra, I had a conversation over the weekend and with some young folks. And I tried, try to do as best I could, get shine some light on them. But they were saying that because of the system is as it is, they're talking about what how you say that boy name,
Oh my
Rittenhour, how you say his
God,
name?
man. You need a button to press
Yeah, I do,
and
man. I can't.
record the name, bro.
Well, the young guy that got off over the last week, that got off, that was acquitted. They said that in light of that and what happened with him, they say the system is set up the way it's set up. The young people, Cassandra, system set up like it's set up, and they're gonna do what they want to do regardless. So there is no reason and there is no need for them to vote. And they were trying to understand, why they going to vote, because the system gonna do what they want to do anyway. If somebody like that could get off, Cassandra, I tried to tell them, I said, that's two different animals. But talk to me, Cassandra. If you was able to talk to them, what would you tell them in regards to voting and the importance of it?
No, we have to have those conversations with not just our young people because we have some older people that are still stuck on stupid. I
Mm-hmm.
hate to put it like that,
Yeah.
but that's basically what it is. They
Mm-hmm.
stuck on stupid
Mm-hmm.
because anytime you think that your vote does not matter, you have a problem. Because the only way that we are going to get the changes, and we talk about this all the time, is through law,
Mm-hmm.
through legislation. So then it's our decision whether we want to remain stuck on stupid and not vote and let people get in there that are making decisions that do not benefit us, or whether we're going to use that vote to make a change and make a difference. And it does make a difference according
Mm-hmm.
to who you have in office, how things are going to go for what you are trying to do, what your changes, what the changes that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just have that conversation with them that it does matter. And I'm going to say this really quickly. We have the case that went before the Supreme Court last year, which yes, last year went before the Supreme Court, and now we're getting ready to go back to the Supreme Court about Mortford Bridge, which is something that took place over 70 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
we're still trying to get justice. And
Wow.
it's black people that think we shouldn't do that. Why
Mm-hmm.
y'all doing that? That was 70 something years ago. Well, 5 people died, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You stuck on stupid again.
Mm-hmm.
5 people died, and it was based around people making their vote count.
Yeah.
It was to intimidate black people from voting, and that's one of the reasons they were killed. So, we have to have these conversations about, especially when it comes to our voting and our rights.
Exactly. Exactly. Charles, unmute yourself, brother. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, man. Hey, I agree with you got to vote, man. But the way
Mm-hmm.
we vote is weird because we've been voting the same way for so long and getting so much of nothing. So it's kind of weird to me how the black community, vote a certain way and get nothing from it. And another thing on that subject of when you talk to the kids or even my sons and his friends, I asked them, did you see the court case? 90, I'm gonna be honest now, 98% of them, maybe even 99% of them didn't see it. That's
Mm-hmm.
why a lot of people spew out things like he came across the line with a gun when he didn't. He was too young to have the gun when he wasn't. He was white privilege when it wasn't. The white privilege to me was, why is the dude on the street who had sodomized 5 kids? Why is he on the street? 5 different kids. That's white privilege. Why is he on the street?
Well,
That's what I feel about that. But that's just, I know that's a whole different animal. But my thing is that if you watch the thing, and I didn't even watch, but like let's say 70% of it, let's say 65. And I saw that because I've been through the trial before. I've been in a court case before. I've been in front of a judge before. I've had to pick a jury before. It was so much evidence that shows self-defense. I don't even understand people who've seen 50% of it don't understand that. It was self-defense.
Charles, let me ask you this question, and I actually learned the same question earlier, and I want to pose it to you. If we got another caller, we're coming to you in just 1 second. Would he have to exercise self-defense, Charles, in any element of that, had he stayed himself at home and not even went over to where he had to go to? There's plenty of things he could have did while he was at home,
and not have. You know what? I'm agreeing with you on that, and that's a loaded question, because in the same difference, would those guys have to attack him if they would have stayed at home? See, if you say one thing without saying the other thing, then you're doing.
That's real clever how you did that, brother. That's real clever. How you did it.
I'm only answering the way you
let me say this. Hold on. Let me ask you this, because my question is, I will ask you a question about one person, and in your cleverness, you want to flip it and deal with somebody else. Hold on. Let's deal with this right here. Like I said, I got a call on the phone line. I want to get to him as well. Would he have to exercise that and let's just deal with this part. We'll deal with the other part later. We will. But had he one without the other. Charles, had he stayed his behind at home, not put over there, and you say he did not carry the gun across the state line. You say he did not. Okay, let's just deal with the fact that he did not carry that gun across. Still, why is it important for this young man at 17 years old to be out there amongst that whole group of people with a weapon, a weapon of mass destruction, you could actually call it, because that weapon has the potential to kill a whole lot of people.
That's white folk talk, man. That's white liberal talk, man.
Charles, I'm trying to be.
Let me ask you a question.
Charles, hold on. I'm gonna mute you for a minute. But my thing is this right here. I'm trying to be real respectful. But when you say that's white folks talk, I could very well say what you're saying right now is white folk talk.
Exactly.
But I did not say that to you.
But it is. But you can say it and it won't bother me, because I understand when I talk to people, I don't take stuff too emotional like that. But I understand if you feel a certain way, it's cool. It's good. But I do agree with you. He could have stayed home. That's true. Okay. But on all of it, none of them were black. All of them could have stayed home. You understand? And and that's the whole thing. I don't understand why black people feel that this was not a fair trial if they did not see the entire trial. I'm telling you, I've seen 2 brothers walk off a murder with a public defender, and they did it. So it's hard to do murder. It's hard, man. And what the brother was saying right here is that one side tell the story and the other side can't tell the story. When you got a murder charge, you have to make it no doubt that this person did it. Because in the past, when we didn't have the laws,
you have some doubt that he killed these people.
No, you have to make it no doubt. I know he killed them. To be me, if that was me, I would have killed him. Also, so if that was my son, I would have wanted my son to kill him, because they attacked him. If I see something through my eyes and I look at that
your son in a better situation where he will make a better decision.
That's true. But check this out though, Raheem. That is not realistic.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Hold on, both of y'all. Hold on for a minute. Let me go to my phone line. Caller, been holding on for a second, and I'm gonna come back to you, Leonard. Then I go back to you, Charles. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Rico calling from Madison, Alabama.
Rico,
rising, everybody.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. I'm here. Can't complain.
There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, that's a perfect building block right there. You can build off that because you're still here. But my thing, Rico, what
Yeah.
you've been listening to this conversation, brother. Where's your heart right now?
It ain't with this conversation. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be with the facts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I sort of agree with what Charles is saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what we have to realize is, man, to be honest with you, all of these cases, they depend on how good the prosecutor does.
Mm-hmm.
The George Zimmerman case, the Rittenhouse case, even the case that I was just a part of this last week, that trial. And I sat there as a spectator, and I knew that if these prosecutors didn't do a good enough job proving to me, showing me that they did a good enough job proving that this man was a murderer or should be convicted of manslaughter, I know he didn't do a good enough job convincing the jury.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I felt, in my opinion, wasn't going to determine guilt or innocence. It was the jury, but I wasn't even impressed. So in the trial that happened here, same thing. They took the killer's narrative. They told his story about how everything went, and they gave the story to a certain extent. They almost gave the defense the defense. And so it ended up in a mistrial. That's another form of prosecutorial misconduct. So now
Hold on.
I listen to what Charles said.
That's what happened to the case that was there. It was a mistrial. It was a mistrial.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I don't think they're gonna take it back to trial because there were certain things that were said before the decision was even made to let me know that that ain't nothing that they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
They said best case scenario was either guilty for murder, guilty for manslaughter with provocation, not guilty or mistrial, which those are the worst two case scenarios. And I'm thinking, well, mistrial, you got another chance to trial.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was something else said. And this is the reason why I said this about the prosecutors. They took the narrative of the killer. And I told them, you know what? Only the first part of that story was right. What's to say that the rest of it was even true? And the prosecutor said, well, that's the reason why we said this and this and this and that. I said, yeah, but it would have been better if it was just said plainly and understood that this was his story and this might not even be the true story because of the other discrepancy. Yeah, that's why we said this and that. Hopefully, the jury got it. I knew then that they didn't try with their hardest. I read all kind of sign language and body language before then that let me know that they really didn't feel this family's pain. They really didn't connect with them. They really wasn't sincere and passionate about getting this murder conviction. They were just doing it so they could say, we tried.
Wow.
So I could tell. And so they didn't convince the jury. And so going back to what Charles was saying, I saw the same thing in the Rittenhouse case. I watched the videos, and the prosecutors put up a whole lot of videos. They didn't have nothing to do with no violence. It just showed how Rittenhouse was maneuvering about throughout his time and being interviewed while he was there. This was before they actually got to the killing. And what the prosecutors did was they proved that this boy wasn't now doing no harm. And guess what? Before then, I can hold myself accountable and say my bias and my emotion wanted this white boy to be guilty because we so tired of seeing white people get off after George Zimmerman and the policeman that killed Tamir Rice and the policeman that killed Philando Castile. I can actually say deep down in my heart, I wanted him to be there for the wrong reason and be guilty. I wanted him to have been there maliciously with intent to do that. And after I saw that video, I saw different. But now, guess what he said in his latest interview? He said he supports Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Who? Now, who gonna call him a lie?
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because a lot of people that support Black Lives Matter want him in prison. What if he's telling the truth? Wow. I ain't saying he's telling the truth or not. But when it comes down to that case, we got to remember what the jury heard. And for what I saw, looking at that case, the evidence that I saw, the evidence that the prosecutor presented after the prosecutors was done presenting their case, before they questioned Rittenhouse, I knew then, if that was me, I would have did the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good deal.
So,
Now,
I could
would
get why
you have?
everybody was in the uproar,
Mm-hmm.
but deep down inside, I had to accept the fact that initially I was being biased, and there was a side of me that wasn't sincere and about how this was how it truthfully went down. But when
Mm-hmm.
people start talking about not voting, they got to understand the prosecutors, it's on them. It's how they present the case. Listen, I put it to you this way. If a prosecutor can go and convict an innocent person with evidence that doesn't exist and ignore his alibi, they damn sure ought to be able to convict somebody that's guilty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me go.
So that's where it lies.
508-92. This is getting good, man. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input as well. Captain Leonard, talk to me.
Well, one, you listen to what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what Rico said. I would have did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just as filthy as Rittenhouse. Because one, like you say, Rittenhouse could be lying. Why would you have been there? Why would you have been there? So you had a certain motive. You had a
Mm-hmm.
motive. You had an agenda. You can't ask two of the guys why they were there because they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy's story was he was there because he is trained as an EMT and he was there helping other people. Why was Rittenhouse there?
Mm-hmm.
Why was he there? Because I ain't never just went in my closet and got my gun and went down to a group of people doing something I didn't like and thought I had the authority to exact justice on people. And then again, I definitely wouldn't have sit there, oh, you know what? He might have did something wrong in his life before, and now I could see why he should be dead anyway.
Mm.
Because most black people sell drugs and do all sorts of things anyway, right? So
Mm.
when I kill them, I'm justified in that.
Wow.
That's why I killed them, because you know how black folks are.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't up to no good, no way. So when I went to
Mm-hmm.
tell them that, and when I went to exact some justice, they didn't like it. And they had the nerve to try to fight me back.
Mm. The nerve of them.
The nerve of them.
Mm.
They out here doing wrong. These criminals. They sodomizing people and everything.
Mm-mm.
So I got my gun and went down there to handle some business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did. He went and got his gun and went down there to handle some business.
I'm
What other
doing
reason
y'all a
why was
favor.
he there? What other reason was it? Talking about he support Black Lives Matter, but he wasn't there protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't he there protesting if he supported black? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. The people he killed were there protesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I do understand, because I understand 50% of us are just as evil as every slave owner we could imagine.
Mm.
50% of America. They went and voted for a person that could care less.
Mm-hmm.
And they won. That's how you get to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, now that we were able, look, America didn't give him another 4 years. But they still now want to talk, people still making excuses for why they burst into the Capitol, destroying the Capitol building, putting the lives of our lawmakers at risk. What
Mm.
intent did they have?
Exactly. Destruction.
What intent did they was gonna go straighten things out?
Mm-hmm.
They got their guns
Take it in their own
in
hands.
their own hands, and they was going to straighten somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lord,
I got the
no,
right to go in here. I got the right to go in this
I got
Capitol
the
building.
right to do it.
Mm.
I don't need the right. I got the right to do it.
508-924-3521.
And they gonna let me off
Mm-hmm.
when I go to trial.
Exactly. How could you dare?
That's why they do what they do, because you have no fear of retribution. Now, this boy is making this decision at 17. He damn sure gonna be justified the next time he kills someone.
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Whether you agree, we got both sides of the coin. So you're gonna agree with one person, but you're gonna disagree with somebody else. It's okay. It's okay. Who you agree with, who do you side with, who's right and who's wrong in this situation from your experiences in your life. Give us a call. 508-924-3521. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm with Leonard. He's 17 years old. He's a double murderer, and hey, it's all good. He was protecting whatever he was protecting. I still don't get what he was. I mean it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take that back. Whatever he felt like he was freaking protecting, going down there in the first place, as far as I'm concerned, 17 years old, and then you getting a weapon. What was that about? If you go in there protect, then you stand in front of the store. If you see somebody going close to it, then you pick up your cell phone and you dial 911. Why are you the executioner? Who made you God? Who made you God, kid? So now you have this great fame now because you stood up and killed 2 people at 17. Whoopee. We're proud of you. Man, that rap right there, I don't care how you put it. I don't care. There is no justification as far as I'm concerned for 17-year-old going down there saying he protecting something. He didn't need a gun to protect it. He needed a cell phone. That's what we all use now. It's available to everybody. He can get a free one from the government if he's eligible.
That's good. That's good.
Same thing with Trayvon Martin, by the way. Same ideology with Trayvon Martin. What you doing here?
Yeah.
This my block. I know the mentality. That's how you hold a block down.
Let me go to Charles. Charles, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Unmute yourself.
Myself, yeah. Man, listen. I don't really know if y'all listen to the trial. I listening to what's being said, I really doubt if y'all really listen to the trial, man. I know y'all probably got snippets of it and stuff like that, but if you would have looked at the trial and the boy didn't bring the gun over the line, he didn't pull it out of his closet, that it was legal, everything he did was legal.
Charles, on that point, let me ask you this question on that point before we get past this. And please explain this to me and as well as my listeners.
I understand your mentality, how you think about it.
No. My thing is, what was the purpose? What was the purpose of the gun, of having the gun? What was that purpose?
The same purpose of the other guy having the gun, protection.
Okay. So if it was for protection, so he was afraid that something may happen.
I guess both guys were afraid.
Okay, no. See, there you go. Deal with my question. Charles, if we gonna talk, I got you muted, Charles. I got you muted. If you're gonna talk, brother, you need deal with I'm asking questions for a reason. Deal with my question. Answer the question the way you want to. I'm not gonna tell you how to answer the question. Answer the way you want to. But I'm gonna ask you. But I'm asking. No, I'm not gonna tell you how to. I can't tell you how to answer the question, brother, because you speak. I can't tell you how to answer. My thing is this. My thing is right here. What was the purpose of the gun? Was it because he was afraid? And you say it was protection. You say it was protection, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you feel that you're gonna be threatened somewhere, why are you there?
All right. Let me ask you this then. On top of that, when you see a guy on his motorcycle with his gun, why is he riding his motorcycle with his gun? You shouldn't even do that, should he?
Charles, Charles, as intelligent as you are, Charles, hold on. Now, Charles, as intelligent as you are, brother, and I know you, Charles. I know you, brother. You know one thing. One thing that got nothing to do with you know one thing. What you just said and what I said has nothing to do. They do not line up. But my thing is this right here. I'm asking you a simple question. If he feels threatened, if he feels as though something gonna happen to him, why is he even there? Why did he travel so far? Why did he have a gun?
Because he came to.
What was the purpose of the gun? Let's deal with that part first.
I'm gonna tell you. He actually had a medical bag helping people. Hold on, let me finish. He actually
And a
was.
gun.
Can I
And a
finish,
gun.
brother? Can I finish?
And a gun. Go ahead. And a
Can
gun.
I
Go ahead.
finish?
Go ahead.
Can I finish
Go
though?
ahead.
See,
Mm-hmm.
can I finish though?
Go ahead.
He had a medical, and you know what? That's a good point you made, because he had a medical bag and a gun, which you see videos about it. Just like Rico said, the prosecution showed him doing this, helping people. Now, the other guy who said that he was there helping with medically, guess what they couldn't find on him, or what they never found a picture of? A medical bag, only a gun. So you're looking at it like you didn't see the number one. You're arguing a point that you did not see you didn't see the trial. You did. I doubt if you saw 90% of the trial. I doubt if you saw 50% of the trial. If you would have saw the trial, you would understand one had a medical bag, Rittenhouse, and a rifle. The other one had just a handgun. Now, the guys who attacked him chased him and attacked him with skateboards. They attacked him. It showed on video they attacked him. It showed on the Sky video thing that they attacked him.
Why did they pick him? Why did they pick him to attack? Why all those people that was there? Why was he the one that was attacked?
That doesn't matter because it doesn't help the defense. That's
correct.
Why that don't matter.
It doesn't help. It doesn't matter at all anyway why he was attacked. They didn't even bring that up in the court. They just attacked this man. Matter of fact, two of the people can't talk because they're dead. Just like Rico said, two of them can't talk because they're dead. But they did attack this dude, and the video, it speaks from beyond their grave. The video speaks. Now, another thing, when you talk about, and they really didn't even bring this up in the trial about, well, they brought, the guys and how the bad things they did in the past, and they didn't really go deep into it. But Rittenhouse was on trial, and when they looked at his past, because you do look at people's past when you're on trial, it didn't come up as he was a certain type person. It didn't come up anything you find on him. You didn't see any kind of racial things going down the line.
On that day, he was a killer. On that day, he was a killer. On that day, he was a killer.
You know what? And like I said, on that day is not the only day that you're trial. When you go on trial, if you've ever been on trial, they go back and look at your history. They do that.
That's true. That's true.
And that's how they look at your sentencing.
On
also,
that day,
when you get sentenced,
that day, he was a killer.
But that's okay. He deserved to be a killer that day because somebody tried to kill him.
Wow.
Somebody tried to kill him. So if you open your mind and if you would have looked at the trial, and I challenge you all to go back and look at the whole damn trial. Excuse my language. But the whole trial. I challenge you to do that. To look at the whole, take the time out, look at the whole trial, and then come back and argue. Because your argument sounds like a loop that you haven't seen the trial. This boy did not come down. He didn't come out there without a gun. I mean, with the gun over the line. The gun was legal. He didn't shoot nobody black. It has nothing to do with black people. Nothing at all.
You keep saying that, y'all. I'm gonna tell you something. We're not making this. We're not making this a black or white issue. This is not a black or white issue, man. It's a these people are dead issue. Let me read that for me, brother.
Hold on.
He was looking for trouble.
Rico said in his heart, and that's a man right there.
He was looking for trouble.
He was being biased about the situation because he saw so many white boys walk. In his heart, he said this. He's probably one of the only honest cats on here about this.
He was looking for trouble and he found it. He will have to answer to his maker for that. But he did not break the crazy laws of Wisconsin. And see, this is the issue with Wisconsin. Haven't you noticed these issues? If you look in the issues in St. Jefferson, where I'm forgetting, excuse me, in St. Louis, right? Not St. Louis. Where do we have the issues? I don't completely lost it, Raheem. Where there was a huge riots and everything that went on there, and I'm gonna come back to it. But this is the thing. It's the context of the matter. It's the intent. It's the intent. The very notion that you used, that you went there to protect private property. That's the flag. That's the flag. The issue that we let a bill die, just elapse, called the Brady Bill.
Mm-hmm.
that would have prevented him from having that weapon, would have made it illegal for him to have
Yeah.
that weapon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Wow.
just take for instance. So one, mind you, because don't nobody know what was going on really. You just making up stories after the fact. If this is okay with you, then this is okay with you. You don't have to explain it to me at all. I just know you on the other side. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I don't care because I know that there are people who justify this type of behavior. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I.
Hold
I,
right
I don't.
Okay, hold right there. Now, and we're gonna get back to right now because we got a lot of people, and there's a lot going on right now. We're gonna go right back to the 3 minute. Everybody, keep your comments within 3 minutes, and we're gonna move on to the next person. Keep it within
Man,
three
what is he
minutes.
talking about?
Hold on, Charles. Hold on, Charles. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, you have to take each case based on what's presented to you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, regardless of how we feel or what we think, we have to go with what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can always make an argument and use in general things to fit our agenda. But we all know that sometimes people have guns for deterrence. Some people got guns and they never shot them, but
Mm-hmm.
they got them because they want you to think. If you mess with me, I use it. You see, I got one. Oh, you seen that movie all about the Benjamin when Mike Epps said he wanted some? Let
Yes,
me
sir.
get some, Q. Let me get some.
Mm-hmm.
But he got scared when he
Mm-hmm.
got the knife in his hand. He just sat there and grinned. That's what a lot of people do with they got
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
They have them for deterrence,
Mm-hmm.
just in case. Now we got to look at the atmosphere of what was going on before that riot that he was at. Black Lives Matter had other riots that was infiltrated the same way we need to infiltrate government by voting and infiltrate the judicial system so we could get some good prosecutions going. So people were infiltrating the Black Lives Matter protests. It was proven, it was shown before it even got to Kenosha. They were showing people knocking out windows and hiding them faces, white folks,
Exactly.
Antifa, white supremacists that was on behalf of Black Lives Matter trying to blend in,
Mm-hmm.
tearing up stuff. And catching, then the black people getting the blame. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, some black folk ran out there and took advantage of the opportunity to get them some TVs and some
Yeah.
groceries looking
Sure did.
pitiful as
Yeah.
usual,
Exactly.
joining in, riding
Mm-hmm.
for the wrong reason. But you had some white people out there that took advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get to Kenosha. They tearing Kenosha up. Charles said it all, man. He was down there with the gun. We don't like that. Had he not been down there with a gun and been just somebody looked like they was somebody, sometimes people look like they the easy targets. Had
Mm-hmm.
he been down there without a gun, looking soft, he probably would have got jumped on. He probably looked like a soft target with the gun. Who knows? But with all the video that was shown, when you see this boy running like a scared chicken with this gun that he intended to bring and murder people with, he didn't just turn around and start shooting before they started running at him. He was running from these people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he might not have. He probably shouldn't have been there. But what they shouldn't have did, they shouldn't have chased a man with a weapon in his arms like that that could knock their head clean off. And guess what they kept doing? So now, even though he was down there and he shouldn't have been, even though he was down there and he was 17, and even though he was down there and some people think he crossed state lines and took it out of his closet, them people still seen that same weapon in his arms and chose to chase him, knowing what it can do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to let them take that gun and just whoop the brakes off of him so everybody can say everybody don't need a gun? This goes to show you how a lot of weak people got guns. He could have been an example. He did what he was supposed to do, even if he wasn't supposed to be down there with the gun, but the law says it was okay. So now we ain't even got that argument to bring up no more, but people still bringing it up. He had the right to be down there with the gun, case closed. That ain't even an issue no more.
So
Now what's the next issue?
I
Did he
enjoy
just
the
turn around?
fact.
Did he just turn around and start busting at them, or was he running from somebody telling them stop, leave me alone? Was he on the ground pointing up at somebody that was lunging at him, or was somebody just standing there trying to help him up?
Mm. Wow.
shake his hand.
There's a lot of layers on this thing. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra?
It's all good. I just don't even want to be in this conversation anymore because anytime people are killed and people find some damn justification for it some way and fix it like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. He's 17. Yeah, it don't matter. He just shot people down like dogs. Oh, it don't matter. He had a right to come over the line. It don't matter. Nothing matters except that there are people dead, people are gone, and he is here as a murderer, and I pray that it haunts him the rest of his damn life, that he took people's lives. I don't care what his excuse for being there was. He should not have been there, period. And especially not with the gun. And if he wanted to protect something, I repeat, why couldn't he just use his cell phone? Why did he have to get a weapon? Use your cell phone and call the police if you're just there to help. What was the gun for?
And this sets up for every active shooter to claim self-defense once engaged.
Wow. Let me go to Charles. Let's keep it within our 3 minutes. Let me go to Charles. Charles, unmute Charles, we cannot hear nothing you're saying, brother. Unmute your line.
How in the world would you put this with any active shooter? This has, my God, I swear.
I'm just saying, like I've been under.
You did not see the trial. Let's be honest. You didn't see the trial.
Actually read the transcripts. So
you read the whole transcript?
No, I didn't read the whole one. I read what I need to use.
So exactly what you need to. So
exactly, just like what you do.
Do you not agree that it was that he was legally there?
No, because there's no everyone has a right. Everyone has a right.
Both of you, hold on.
Everyone has a right to be legally there.
Okay, so
hold on, Charles, 3 minutes. Hold on.
Was he legally there?
Yes, he has the right to be wherever he wants to be.
Was he legally there? Yes or no?
Yes, everyone was.
Okay, everyone was legally there. Yeah. All right. So was he legal with his weapon?
I'm not sure.
If you would have saw the,
I know is, one thing I got from the trial was I'm glad that when I travel.
I understand. No problem.
That when I get to Wisconsin, look, this is the issue.
I can't hear both of y'all.
Like I said before, it's good to know that one, I can go to Wisconsin, and my friends can give me guns now.
That's true.
I say I didn't realize that was legal.
Yeah, it's legal. You can get a gun. I can go. Like you can come to Georgia, and somebody give you a gun to go hunt with, and you don't own the gun. You understand? Now you do have to be able to own a gun. You get what I'm saying?
And these are the things that we as an organization we fight against.
Let me ask you this. Too.
Hold on, Charles. Hold on.
One quick question.
Charles, hold on for a second. Charles, I'm speaking on your defense, brother. Hold on for a minute. Know what I'm trying to help you. Brother.
Okay.
My thing is this right here, man. I want to make sure that everybody gets there. I see 3 minutes, and y'all been talking back and forth. So I'm gonna get Charles another 3 minutes to make sure everybody get there 3 minutes. So Charles, you got the floor for 3 minutes, brother. Go ahead, make your point.
All right. See, my whole issue with all of the, I guess, court and all that stuff like that, and laws and things like that. And I think somebody mentioned it earlier. We don't show up enough. Black folks don't. Now, even I was going to ask Rico, how many black people was in the jury? See, black folks, we don't even want to do jury duty. You get what I'm saying? So my sister's in a jury duty right now, and she was like, "It's a black guy on trial, and nobody blacks want to show up." So we want change, but we don't want to go and do it. Like, become the police, become the judges, become the lawyers, like other cultures do, if we feel that it's that bad. You understand? But as for this case right here, this boy was there legally, like everybody else, just like Mr. Leonard said, everybody else was legal too. This boy was attacked. If you saw the video, like Rico said, he was attacked. Now, why did they attack him? We don't know. Why do they attack people at gas stations? Like you said earlier, you asked me earlier, would I want my son to be in a certain situation? No, I wouldn't. But let's say he's at the gas station in his ride and somebody roll up on him and try to get him. Kill them before they kill you. I'm not crying for the victim. I don't care about the victim's family. None of that. Because people say, well, you You love your merchandise more than you love those people? No, those people love my merchandise more than they love themselves. So don't bother mine or don't bother me, and you won't get killed. That's how we all are. You understand? Like I just told you, we all are that way. And as for you, like the money that he got to get him off, he needed that money. Because you had people who was burning down buildings and all that stuff, and and people from Congress was getting them out of jail. They would go right back out on the street and burn down more buildings, tear up black businesses and stuff. And when you talk about the white supremacy that was doing it, those people were Antifa. They were. I know for a fact that they were Antifa. So they were people that was for. They were speaking, talking about somebody from Black Lives Matter told me to paint on his window. Nobody from Black Lives Matter told him that. Although I don't agree with Black Lives Matter, I'm quite sure nobody from Black Lives Matter told him to do that shit. Those white people from Antifa doing what they do to disrupt blacks, and blacks let them. The whites are left, and the blacks keep god doggone following them.
Good deal. That's your 3 minutes, brother. Let me go. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
You talking to me? You got Pete.
Pete, good morning. How you doing this morning?
How y'all doing this morning? DKM on the Globe Channel, listening audience.
Hey, doing good. How you been listening to us, brother?
Yeah, been listening a little bit. Well, I'm gonna run my 3. What I was observing was how the court proceedings removed the gun out of the whole case.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What I identified in the whole case is how in the legal arena, how they steer stuff where they want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about being a nation of laws, it's real funny the wiggle room that we have in the legal system. And we can steer the case where we want it to be before the case never even gets started. Mm-hmm. That speaks to the real issue that we're confronted with when we're looking at situations like this. When you're coming in with the full merits of what happened, they bring in the full merits. But once they remove the gun out of the court case, the case was over. Mm-hmm. It was over. It was a humdinger at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Leonard, yes. Before we go to that, Leonard, will you read this for me, sir?
Somewhat true. Antifa and black identity extremists are not helping anything.
That's public citizen.
I think it's so funny because when you've been under surveillance for this thing, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy. So I want these people to have this. If you have this same philosophy, when the colors change, it shouldn't change. The outcome should be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's just wait. Mm-hmm. Because one, arguing ain't gonna bring them 2 dead people back. Because some people don't have no feelings for them, no way. I'm not sure why that came up. I don't know why I had to have some feelings and all that about them, because the only thing I really knew about them is what the media told me about them.
Mm-hmm.
The picture that they painted. The defense did an excellent job. They were worth their money. They were worth the money spent to get him off. What our problem is as a society is that we still allow this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We still allow, okay, like one, you know what? That's a great idea. I believe all 17-year-olds should be able to carry automatic weapons without license. Do we want a society like that? Do we want a society like that?
No, not at all.
Some people do.
Mm-mm.
Some people are just fine if you parking in a spot at the mall and they get into it with you because they don't like, you know what? You can't park in that handicapped spot. I'm making a citizen's arrest. And the moment I engage you, now it's self-defense on your part when you kill me. But you came at me because you would want me parking in the handicapped spot. I didn't have no right to be in the handicapped spot. So you got your gun and everything. You ready to make me get out the spot. You want that society? Because that's what you have now. That's what you have. And this is what people are fighting for.
West.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And we know who has used it. You can ask
Mm-hmm.
any of these defense attorneys about the difference between taking their cases to court on self-defense and people on the other side of town taking theirs in for self-defense.
Absolutely. Rico?
Because it's always self-defense in the hood.
Oh, yes, sir.
It's always self-defense in the hood, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
But we
sir.
still going to jail, right?
24/7.
So
24/7.
there must be an issue there.
Mm-hmm. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I go back to what Pete said. Once they took the gun out of the picture, according to the law, see now, based off my emotions, I still can say he shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there with that gun, and he might have went out there and bit off more than he could chew, or maybe he went intentionally feeling like this is an opportunity for me to get a body. But legally, what we're arguing about, legally, he had to do what he had to do, and they proved that. Now, I said that about the prosecutors earlier, but I mean to put that about the judge too. The judge has that power, so that's why it's so important for us to vote and get involved in this judicial system. It's one or two things got to happen. Either we got to quit being involved with it and do like the Amish, go and create our own community, absolutely, or we could go and infiltrate it. No system or organization has ever been overturned, or changed without infiltration.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat nothing and change it from the outside. You got to find somewhere on the inside, whether you use a woman, money, whatever it is, something. You got to find a weakness, get in there, and then start poisoning and putting your virus in to change up that system. So either we're going to have to start going being state prosecutors, going to start being judges, being attorneys, being jurors. Because Charles asked the question, how many black jurors was it? It was 0 at first.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecutors, the state, I put it to the state, they actually tried to get black jurors this time. And the defense of all people who's defending the killer, they only wanted all white jurors. So they struck everybody black. And when you got in there and listen to what they struck for, and then some of the same white people they killed that had the same discrepancies that they didn't like. So, you know, it ended up being 3 of them on there, 4. Then one woman left after she heard the wife cry out when they played the 911 call. So she left. They gave people the opportunity to leave, and this black woman left. Black woman, not the black men. The black men stayed there, all 3 of them. The black woman, the sister, that this could have been her son or her nephew or her husband, decided she would rather go home than to see if this man was guilty, flying this Confederate flag on the back of his truck during that time in the atmosphere across the country where everybody was being terrorized with these people crashing birthday parties. She decided she didn't want to be a part of the system. She didn't want to be a part of the process. So, you know, that could have probably made the vote 10-2. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, you know, it was some of us on the jury. You know, it wasn't at first. But we do have to participate and be a part of this system. We gotta implement ourselves into it to be able to cause this change. Because that judge, like he said, when that judge took that gun out of the equation, then that made everything legit. It was, I mean, I knew then it was a go.
Yeah,
and like
it's
I
a
said,
wrap.
I sat back and listened to watched the videos. I looked at it on CNN and on YouTube, and man, he was illegally there with a gun, doing what was within his rights. And when these people charged him and made him feel like he was in danger while he was brandishing this gun, they got what that gun came with.
Wow, good deal. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Morning, Glow family. What's up? It's Kurt, Tom City, baby. What's going on?
Hey, doing good, doing good. How you doing this morning? We talking about the situation that happened, man. Well, let me take you back from the beginning. I had a conversation with some young people, over teenagers, over the weekend. Excuse me, and they were talking about the man. Hold on, let me find this guy's name. I'm gonna say his name right. Hold on, Rittenhouse. Yeah, they were talking about Rittenhouse and the situation that happened, how he got off. and they were saying that the system is so corrupt. The system is so corrupt that they're gonna let who they want to let off and do what they want to do, blah blah blah, all these different things. They were saying they tie that into why are we going to vote. There's no need to vote because you know they're gonna do what they want to do anyway. Kurt, what do you say to that?
Well, the young folk got a point. The young folk got a point. I mean, listen, we have flooded we keep saying why we not voting. We are voting, man.
Mm-hmm.
We are voting. We flooded the votes over the last 12 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, when
Over
you
the
say
last 12,
that,
15 years,
Kurt,
we have.
are you talking about the local as well as the national? Because I know we voted for the president.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We have flooded the vote.
Mm-hmm.
First off, let me tell you. First and foremost, we are not attacking the proper places, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Because if you was attacking the proper places, we wouldn't allow for the Republican Party, and I'm saying specifically the Republican Party, since 2000 has run the same game every time there's an election.
Mm-hmm.
We are not attacking the gerrymandering of districts. We are not attacking the fact that since 2000, the Republican Party has not won an election without it being controversy. Well, why is that? The reason that is because they have been stealing elections. So what they're doing is, I could be a thief. So if I'm trying to get away with what I'm trying to do, then I'm going to make you look at Raheem as the thief and pay me no attention.
Yeah.
The whole while you looking at Raheem, I'm all up in your bank account and taking your money.
Mm-hmm.
But you paying attention to Raheem, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, we have allowed for them to continuously put out this hate message without anybody seriously. You trying to combat hate with academics. That's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of the Rittenhouse case, let me just be plain and simple. There's a such thing as negligent homicide. Truck drivers get charged with it all the time. People who, specifically black and brown folk, who kids get shot as a result of them leaving a gun around on a table, and the kid picked the gun up and kill himself by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Programs get charged with it and get sued with it all the time. There's a such thing as negligent homicide. When you're a prosecutor, you have to realistically understand that, okay, if we charge with this, this might not stick. If we charge with that, that might not stick. But it's a guarantee we can get a guilty verdict with this. Personally, I think Rittenhouse was charged with the wrong charge.
Exactly.
Because they forgot the lowest in politics. There's a thing called the lowest hanging fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that first.
If I'm not mistaken, let it help me out. The lowest hanging fruit means that these are the votes that you know pretty much you're going to get.
You're going to get them. Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt.
All right. So in prosecuting a crime, the reason why the feds have such a high conviction rate is because the feds always hit you with the lowest hanging fruit first.
Mm-hmm.
Then they pile on all these additional charges. Now, if y'all pay attention over the last 20 years, if you pay real close attention, there's a charge that they hit black folk with all the time that they very seldomly hit white folk with. It's called conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy basically means that, guess what? You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to pull the trigger. You didn't have to bag up the dope. You didn't have to sell the dope. But if you knew what was going on, then you're just as guilty. Why do I say that? I'll end with this, Raheem. It's rather simple. That boy should have been charged with negligent homicide. Not because he broke the law, being as though the law was he could carry this gun, whatever, whatever. But he should have been charged with negligent homicide. His buddy who bought the gun should have been charged with negligent homicide because you shouldn't have gave a gun to a gun of that magnitude, or any gun for that matter, to a 17-year-old kid, because what was against the law is a 17-year-old kid bearing arms. Okay. But being as though we went there, okay, so negligent homicide on him should have been conspiracy of negligent homicide. I don't know how you would word that, but conspiracy should have been placed on the mama and the person who gave him the gun.
Good deal. Good deal. Let's keep this thing moving, Kurt. Hold on, don't go nowhere. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? 470 area code.
You said 470. That might be me.
Told you with a T.
I almost forgot. Yeah, that's me. 470. That's me. It's early, y'all. Yes,
Lord,
that's me.
Lord.
What's up? Good morning. You talking about Carl Rittenhausen?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you talking about?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
No,
good one. How on this
when
morning?
I receive my life.
Now
What's
it's Rittenhausen. Rittenhausen. Is that really his name?
Hey, look here. You know I can't get it right. You know I can't get it right. But anyway, to where you with a T, was he right, wrong? Was there any justice served in this whole situation?
No. That boy went looking for it, got it, and got off. Oh, y'all think that America changed? Black people, let me show you. For white people to have, this is not about color, right? Because coming from the streets, all kind of things happen, and it's not about color. It's about the business you getting in, and you wind up getting caught up. And that boy went and minded some business that wasn't his. Listen, do y'all not remember that in Atlanta, I was out there with them recording things?
Yes.
And the things that they put out there was different than what was going on. So I get it. Can somebody please mute the phone with me? I don't know what we in y'all pocket or something, and the rattling with the in the background. Thank you, please. But for this young man to go in the mix, the police were taught to stand down at that moment. Like while the riots were going, people were throwing stuff at them. Right? Like a real reason an officer could have got mad and shot somebody, and they're like, oh yeah, I get that. They threw a bottle, a brick. Oh yeah. No, they had to stand down at a time like that because we really don't want nobody to get hurt. You know, we don't want to be looked at as the police officers who've been shooting up these people. But here this little knucklehead, wide-eyed little white boy come bring his tail from his house to protect something of that he didn't know, nobody. And when he got what he should have got coming to him, because he ain't had no business down there. That was an emotional moment for people who cared about black people who are getting killed by police, who felt like injustice was going on, and you wanted to go get in the mix of that. And because they tried you, because what are you doing down here? Oh, I would have shot him too if it was me, if I wasn't minding my business. But you still supposed to go to jail. The boy beat me. I beat him back. I went to jail. Period. So no, they didn't do that right. And absolutely, as a lawyer, that's why I'm going to law school next. Of course, I would not go for the one that I know the highest count. I'm going to go for what I can get people to believe beyond reasonable doubt. And if the other lawyer is not fighting because you believe what he did because you might be white too, or whatever, you don't have to be white. You can be a black person and believe that what he did was justifiable. It is still your part to prove that. But I don't care what they said. That boy committed murder with the intent to go down there looking to commit murder with anybody that might have messed with him with the height of emotions in the way it was that day. No.
Good deal. Anybody else? We're gonna go to our our topic for today. We're gonna go to our topic for today. And
Raheem,
yes, sir.
that wasn't You know what? You did tell me that wasn't the topic, right?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the topic. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah, we sometimes, like I said,
And
I let it run its course, brother. Sometimes I let it run its course before I jump back over to
So
the
now
topic.
you're getting ready to surprise me.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't surprising enough,
I thought
huh?
that was it. I honestly, I thought that was it, Raheem. I really did.
No, sir. No, sir. We got Rico. We got Curtis, Curtis line. We have Toya. Our brother Pete had to take off, and Cassandra had to take off. But I think Cassandra's about to call back in as well. But anybody else have anything else they want to say on this right here before we jump to our topic for the day?
yeah, I want to say something, man. We got to remember that there was a jury that decided this trial.
Mm-hmm.
A jury of people that had to sit back nonstop, get up and get up and then walk out and then come back in and sit down over and over. Listen to every bit of evidence without falling asleep. They had to listen to the objections and all of that. They got a whole lot more information than we got. Human beings. I don't know if it was 9-2. I don't know if it was all white. I don't know if it was 50-50. I don't know how many black people were on there. Just like with the jury we had in this mistrial down here.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with Ahmaud Arbery. We know
Yes.
it's 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
But those people heard the same information and they came back with a verdict. And the verdict said not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So Curtis came in and knocked it out the park. Sometimes, you remember what I said earlier about the prosecutors and the judges. Sometimes, if we're not paying attention and we got too much faith in people that know what they're doing, we'll trust everything that they're doing. And at the same time, they're actually working with the defense. Maybe they went for a charge they knew they couldn't get.
Mm-hmm.
Which they do.
But at least they can say we tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the American AMERICKKKAN system. And y'all want a part of this American dream so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have went both ways. Who knows? I mean, that's how it works. You know what I'm saying? That's real psychology. If you really want to talk about a trickster and a deceiver, that's how they really get down. They work both sides of the table.
I know.
They have us out here trying to fight and split up amongst that. But based off those charges that they tried to convict him of, he was innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, had the gun been in play and had the charges been negligent homicide, like Curtis said, he would have been guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a lot of time when we getting at each other for not agreeing, we got to understand that some of us are basing it just upon what was required, based on the law, not off of what we felt. All of us feel like he was wrong for going there and killing them people. Don't nobody just want people to get killed for no reason.
Yeah.
Or go somewhere and see something like that happen. But I'm going to read this off before you change subjects, because that same day, the exact same day they called Kyle Rittenhouse, I started to say Carl Rittenhouse. The exact same day that Kyle Rittenhouse got acquitted, a black man in Florida got acquitted for the same thing. SWAT team busted in their house, shot at them. He shot back. They killed his 21-year-old girlfriend, hit her with like 10 shots.
Good Lord.
He went to court. They tried to charge him with all these second-degree felony murder charges and this and that. And guess what? He got acquitted by a jury, just like Kyle Rittenhouse. But it's self-defense. Black people just don't get it. We don't get self-defense. This man shot back at the SWAT team.
Wow.
Then there's another case in Jacksonville, Florida, going to be coming up probably in the next year or so. A black woman did the same thing about 8-9 months ago. Police came up to her house, tried to kick the door in, went to talking sideways. She didn't know who it was, and she bust, hit one of them. They arresting her. They trying to get her for attempted murder.
Wow.
But it's going to be hard. So, I mean, you know, we do get acquitted. We do get found not guilty. This case, it only happened to be at a Black Lives Matter rally, but this is not a black issue.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, we're going to go to our topic for today. So we're going to lighten it up. We're going to lighten it up a little bit. Hold on, we got another call. Let's see what the call is. Okay, we got Cassandra back. Good to have you, sis. Let me see who I'm gonna go with. Who I'm gonna start this off with. Let me go with Toya with a T. Toya with a T. I'm gonna start off with you. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. Toya, and this is a very simple question, but let's dig into this thing just a little bit. But what is a job? What is a job? Is it something? Is it a mechanism to hold people back? Is it something for people to advance? Um, should everybody have a job, or should people actually be entrepreneurs, or whatever the case? Sort of the different layers I'm putting out there. But Toya, what is a job?
A job is something that you do to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not about making a living. It's kind of what you do to that makes the world go round, right? Everybody got a job. My mama's job right now was to get better. She ain't got to work, whatever she need, I got her financially. She's focused on recovery. That's
Mm-hmm.
your only job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about getting up, going to work. It's just not about being an entrepreneur. Even as
Mm-hmm.
an entrepreneur, that's your job that you do to get up to work. But you know what? As a daddy, you got a job. As a husband, you got a job. As
Mm-hmm.
a brother, and so forth and so on. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm an outside of the box, look at everything from every angle kind of person. I try to take blinders off and just look at life as what all I know as a job,
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Mm-hmm.
more than that.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we talk and we say things, it's about every single angle, not just your angle. So a
Mm-hmm.
job is something that you do to help make this thing better and go around. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just about money.
Now let me ask you this question, and I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you went in that direction, Toya. But this whole pandemic situation, and now a lot of people from work are working from home, and the hours that normally was like an 8 hour shift. Now the shifts are stagnated. People have a lot more freedom now. Did that help or hinder this whole job situation as we know it?
Um, well, no, I don't think so, because again, everybody hasn't been doing their job as bosses, as employees, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it gets stagnated, but I do think that it has put it it's put us in the opportunity to make more money. But at this point, we already doing our own struggle on our own. So it's like it's hard to go back to a job. Now you got to do something that's a career because you love it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
got to teach some things we should do when it comes to making money now, right? I went back to the food industry because I love the food industry. I'm the best at it. I know I have care at it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I understand the depths of food. I'm the doctor of the stomach, and I'm real about that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is not. So I went back to work not only because of financial opportunity, but I love it. But as the
Mm-hmm.
Uber entrepreneur with minimal work, that's a job. I can do it. But it's not something that I love. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it really just depends on if you're doing something to make money or you're doing something because you love it. Because if you're doing it to make money, then the job market, I mean, hey, it's going to continue to suffer because we don't love that no more. We're not getting treated right. So
Exactly.
I don't know. It's hit or miss.
Mm-hmm. Cassandra, what is a job?
It's pretty much what I would define it the way Latoya did.
Mm-hmm.
I I do several jobs and I do them part of it because it's what I love to do. It's what I'm chosen to do. And then there are parts of it that I do to make money. But
Mm-hmm.
money is not at my top priority. And this is based, your job should be based on where you are in your life. You understand what I'm saying? What it is
Mm-hmm.
that you feel like your ultimate goals are. My ultimate goal is not to be a multimillionaire. That's not I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to be a blessing and live my life. My job is to help people as much as
Mm-hmm.
I can and to live a peaceful life. That's all I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for. I've had money before. Money don't mean crap to
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
because I've had it. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that it does not make for any type of happiness. And for some people it does, but for me it never did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a force for me. But yeah, job is what I do now to be a blessing, and it's a part of what God has called me to do. The things that I do to bless somebody else.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Rico, what do you say to that, brother? What is a job?
Man, I'm right in the same boat with them. I mean, if you would have called me first, I would have ended up saying exactly what they just said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all have a responsibility to try our best to be as productive as we can,
Mm-hmm.
members of society. to this society that we exist in.
Mm-hmm.
So we have responsibilities to our families, to our children that we produce. We have responsibilities as preachers. Some people are called to be preachers. Their job is to save souls and bring them
Yes,
to
sir.
Christ, right?
Yes, sir.
That's their
Mm-hmm.
job.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have jobs individually, personally, for our health. It's our job to make sure that we brush our teeth every day and wash our faces
Yes,
and
sir.
eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to be obese.
Mm-hmm.
So many different things. So, to me, the job is something that you have as a responsibility to be a productive member of society and for the progress of the contribution to society, not only just society, but your household.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a father, you have a job as a father if you have sons or daughters to be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
to be a
Mm-hmm.
provider and a protector, to teach and mold. That's your job. Nobody else's job. It's your
Mm-hmm.
job to make sure that they stay in line, that they're respectful until they get a certain age. And then hopefully you did a good job as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So, really and truly, a lot of people, they like to put the financial aspect to it. I was glad Cassandra went that route. I came from a household where money wasn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
In the early 80s, when people didn't have things, not a lot of white people didn't have what we had. But I know a lot of poor people that had more than I had, and that was called compassion. That was called attention.
Mm-hmm.
They were less neglected than I was. They got proper supervision. They got care that I didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might have had a swimming pool in the backyard. Maybe we did have four-wheelers and everybody thought we were rich, but they weren't getting beat.
Yeah.
So that money didn't mean nothing
Mm-hmm.
when you walking around depressed and sad and everybody else happy, but they got holes in their socks. You got what they want, but they don't understand why you depressed. They don't know what you just saw the night before.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know
Mm-hmm.
you've been up all night, shaking, anxious, going through anxiety, nervous because you don't know if you're gonna get jumped on or what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the job is to protect and provide. Like I said, that's what a job is. It's much bigger than money. It's much bigger than financial obligations. But it
Exactly.
is about survival. Your
A-
job is to survive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Public citizen said, let me read this here. Are all workers worthy of the same respect? Because I see many people seem to not think so. Leonard, what do you say to that?
I can't believe this is the surprise. I just can't believe it. But we will talk about this after the fact.
I know, right?
Uh,
After the first
but
topic, I know.
the job thing is, it's within the proper. You got to put in proper context. It's just an
Mm-hmm.
activity. It's just an activity. A lot of times, it's an
Mm-hmm.
activity that's done or something like that. Usually in exchange for payment.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people put a lot of biases around certain people, and I think that's what's leading to that particular question that public citizen posted.
Yes.
And a lot of people have a certain context for a job. Sometimes they use a job to determine your worthiness.
Mm.
Sometimes they look at your job to determine how
How
important you
important
are.
you are.
Sometimes they look at your job on whether or not what type of friend they're going to be with you.
Mm.
Those types of things. So if you're attached to a job that way, that's why you have these different concepts of a job. You
Mm-hmm.
know, let the truth be told, what is a blowjob? Okay, it's no big deal. It's just
Lord, Lord Jesus.
we shouldn't be. Some people I've asked some people. They are. You got some people they are their job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a doctor.
And
You know,
exactly. You
that's
can't
my
talk to
job.
me like that. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, certain like that. So some people blow it out of proportion,
Mm-hmm.
but within a proper context, a job is just something that you do, usually in exchange for payment, or as a
Mm-hmm.
role. It may be a responsibility that you have based on the role that you're playing. That
Mm-hmm.
could be a job or a task that you're doing is also referred to as a job and things of that nature. So the fight for jobs and things like that in that context is opportunities to work for pay.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
good.
people have feelings about that. And then some
Mm-hmm.
people have feelings about working for other people in general that
Mm-hmm.
make them despise any job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people I guess think that you should just sit there and people should just give you stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
But People look at jobs differently. And
Exactly. Exactly.
that's what I think Public Citizen was kind of questioning, you know, pose that particular question.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, are you with us? Curtis, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right here.
We got a couple of callers. We're gonna go to the callers. Callers, hold on. We're coming to you next. Curtis, can a job that J.O.B., like Leonard said, can it be your identifier?
What do you mean by your identifier?
You identify yourself. I'm a lawyer. Oh man, you can't talk to me like that. I am a judge. I am a doctor. And that's how they identify themselves. It has nothing to do with who they are or personally, but has everything to do with and is tied into the job that they have. What do you say to that?
Well, yeah. I mean, most people, that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do. Most people identify themselves as what they do, especially if they're doing something that supposedly is what's the word I'm looking for? Is elite. A lot of people fall into that trap. I have never, and I was taught this a long time ago. I have never determined who I am as a human being according to the job that I do. Society. And the reason being is because my job does not justify who I am as a human being.
Come on.
My job is what I do to make a living and hopefully be able to have that amount of love and willingness to continue beyond any kind of pay for doing what I do. So I have never allowed for my work to justify who I am as a human being. Now I have allowed for my work to determine how I decipher what is just and unjust. For example, I used to work for the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Okay. But when the Federal Bureau of Prisons started asking me, or once I called on to the fact that the Federal Bureau of Prisons was asking me to violate the law to carry out the law, then I had a conscious choice. Do I want to be a part of that effort? And law, in my mind, there's written law and then there's moral law. So if your written law don't line up with your moral law, I don't want to be a part of that.
That's good.
So, but others I know other people that was willing to do whatever the Bureau told them to do, not even realizing that when this hit the fan, your name on that documentation and you at the bottom of the totem pole. So everything is going to roll downhill to you.
Exactly.
So the same cat she's locking up might be the same methods you using to lock folk up might be the same methods that send you to prison.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
That's just my take on it.
Good deal. We got a couple of callers. I think the next call on the line was on Toussaint. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I was hoping that you come back to me or come to me soon, because I ain't got long. Boy, I've been off for a week.
And congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. I got 2 congratulations in the same day, man. I tell you, I got my oldest son made chief.
Yes, sir.
The youngest one, he graduated out of the training part of going into the Navy. So,
wow, that's good. That's good.
They doing their thing.
Yes, sir.
It's a good thing.
That
time we can get positive from our children in any form.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
There you go. There you go. And so double congratulations, brother. Double congratulations.
Thank you, man.
I want to ask you this question. Toussaint, what is a job? What is a J.O.B.? What is it? Oh, Lord. Nothing going on over there.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
Sounds a little lot
oh,
like Christmas. Go ahead. What's the job, brother?
life, man. I would say life.
Mm-hmm.
Getting up in the morning is a job. I think you got a job. Just
Mm-hmm.
keep, just stay. Yeah, I mean, marriage is a job.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Relationship is a job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and don't talk about trying to make a living. Now
Mm.
that's a job. Whether
Mm.
you're an entrepreneur or you go on a 9 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
it's all. I mean, that's a real job. I mean, some some people may relate it to the 9 and 5, but you think about a person that wants to do their own thing and
Yes,
not
sir.
answering to nobody. Now that's a
Mm-hmm.
serious job
Absolutely.
because you have to make sure it's on you to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that the job is not done. If you lay down, the
Mm-hmm.
job is not done.
Yes, sir.
If you miss a day, you missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a full time job. Even when you're sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
you got to kind of, but your mind triples. Say, what's going to happen next? All
Mm-hmm.
the time. It's up to me as the one that's trying to get it. That's the job, trying to get it, trying to
Mm-hmm.
make it happen. Um, you know, that in my mind, I'm not an entrepreneur in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using my job to do what I do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's
The
good.
9 to 5 that I have, it helps me to do what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
what I like to do. Do I really want to come in here every day? No, no. I could lay down all day long and let the lights get cut off.
Mm-hmm. Be mighty cold in the wintertime, brother.
Poverty, I'm trying to tell you, poverty is a job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
I
good.
mean, if you want to think about it, um, it's hard. I look at people, and I'm gonna shut up. That's my 3 minutes is up. I look at people stay at work all day and avoid trying to do something. Now that's a job.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wow.
hard. That must be hard. That
Leonard.
got to be stressful. Here
Mm-hmm.
you are, and I watch and I observe, and if I leave out of this office right now and I go out into the workplace,
Mm-hmm.
I bet you, I would bet right now, I would see somebody get up out of their seat.
Mm-hmm.
What you got up for?
Yeah.
What do
Exactly.
you, that's a job. Now
That's
that's crazy, but
mm-hmm.
that's a job
Exactly.
because you
Exactly.
wait until somebody that
Preacher.
you think is superior
Now, preacher, you say your three
by.
minutes was up and you just kept on going, preacher. Now, what we gonna do with you,
I'm
man?
just saying,
Now, preacher, you
it
say your
must
three
be a,
minutes was up.
it must be a job. It must be a job trying to keep people from talking too much.
It's a job, brother. Preacher, preacher. Now you said my 3 minutes up and you
Yeah,
talked another 2 minutes, preacher. Hold on now.
it's
Let me
been
go.
it's been a week, man.
Oh, you trying to make it up? You trying to get all your 3 minutes back? Okay, okay, I got you. I
I
got you.
ain't gonna say nothing else.
No, you know, we gonna come back to you. Hold on, let me go to a bishop. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Good morning, good morning. Welcome
Good
back.
morning, good bishop.
There you go,
No,
Bishop. Bishop, let me ask. We asked you the question, "What is a job?" Now, let me ask you this question. I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit. But can a person become a prisoner to their job?
absolutely. And I think Donald and everybody else has given the identity as what is relate, what is a job and what you begin to focus on. But uh, the question that you asked, can a person become a prisoner to it? My son is a prisoner to his job.
Mm.
He leaves his home at 8 in the morning and he gets home, he gets off at 11 or 12 at night and he gets home. And he said, Dad, I got to make this paper, man. I got this wife and these children I got to take care of. I said, yeah, but don't forget you're a husband and a father. They need your time as well.
Yes, sir.
So you have become a prisoner to making the money that these folks are paying you, but yet your family is growing up and growing past you. So I need for you to reevaluate your priorities
Mm-hmm.
and know having sons that are being raised without their father, mother pressing all the buttons as it relates to trying to be mom and dad in your absence, something's going to lack.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes break it down to them. Yeah, we need money to live. There's no way fans better, but children and wives need husbands to live too.
Exactly.
They need that love
Mm-hmm.
that you're supposed to provide. That male figure that you need to provide to your boy. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to reevaluate everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Donald when Donald was speaking. When I was a floor supervisor. Folk be sitting down, and I'm looking down, and they see me walking on the floor, and when they want to jump up, I'm like, resume what you're doing. You
Yeah.
know, jump up, them come out.
Mm-hmm. You weren't
Come on
doing
down.
nothing. You weren't doing nothing. Don't try to do that now.
Yeah, don't try to do nothing now. It ain't like we didn't have nothing to do, but you just want to sit down. When your break time come up in the next 30 minutes, don't take no break. I need you to stand up working here.
Exactly. You don't had your break, and you know, a lot of time when black folks, have Bernie Mac say, when black folks take a break, they take a break. I told you what to talk to me, says, what is a job, man, and can somebody become a hostage or prisoner to their job?
Who'd you ask?
Can somebody become a prisoner to their job?
Of course we can. You know, we talking about titles and positions for the president and police officers.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are people who we give them that power.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you become a prisoner on either side to the power and authority behind being a cop. I'm an officer. When I say something, do it or I'm a shoot.
Mm.
Oh, I'm an officer. I'm the only one that can kill you. That's a prisoner in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's not only about you have this level of authority where you're like supposed to be trusted, a main determining factor in the guidance of human beings, because you're an officer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can become a prisoner and let that set you up. They sell drugs too, and the cops.
Yeah.
But you busting drug dealers. You beat on your wife too, but you a cop.
Mm.
But you upholding the law. But you don't think you're a prisoner. You would never be able to ask one of them that beat their wives that come to work like they don't. Hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we do it. We always giving up power to positions. The president. He the end all be all of everything. No, we are. Right where we at. It's not up
Mm-hmm.
to the president to keep our communities clean, but we put that title. So we give them that power. The NBA players make more than the teachers. Why? Because of us.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we want to run for these positions and we want to be these people because of how we put them on pedestals and the glitz and glamour and glory and authority behind some of these titles and positions.
Mm-hmm.
We got a real big part to play in this too when we put these people there and put them on that stature. So again, twofold situation.
Yes. Exactly. Because Sandra, what do you say to that? Have you seen situations or examples where a person could become a prisoner to their job and it just overtake their whole life?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that position when I managed businesses, which
Mm-hmm.
I managed businesses for about 17 years. I remember one day I was in the store that I was managing, and my daughter came in, and she was like 15 or 16, and I looked at her and I was like, wait a minute, how did you get? I mean, literally, I
Mm.
looked at her and said, how did you get to be this young woman that I'm looking at, and I've missed it because when you manage, especially stores, it's like it's oh my god, you if something go wrong, you in the store.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? If
Yes.
somebody can't make it, you in the store.
Mm-hmm.
You're responsible for everything that goes down in that store. So it's like you're constantly working. Your phone is constantly ringing. So it's a lot. But yeah, you can become. And I left uh, managing businesses shortly after that because I was like, no, I'm missing too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just missing too much.
Mm-hmm. And Leonard, what impact could that job have on the family, man? On the family, you being a husband, a father, and all these different things in life. What impact could that job have on you in a positive or negative way?
Well, I believe, first of all, communication is very important.
Mm-hmm.
S- Single people have different issues.
Yeah.
However, some people's job if it's what they enjoy, they have no problem dedicating what we would think would be an inordinate amount of time to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a person that, one, if I get caught up into what I'm doing, I'm just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work for anyone. Been pretty independent for quite some time, but
Mm-hmm.
mine wasn't something I was looking forward to. It's something happened in my life that changed my whole concept of work.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs a lot of times can be very stressful. Depends on where you work, or they can be enjoyable. Jobs aren't bad things because a lot of them provide finance for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, the balance is really important. And those people who have a tendency to get out of balance really need to get help. And they really need to notice other things that may be lacking. There are
Mm-hmm.
certain people, like, if they always working and things like that, you stop inviting them to certain places.
Yeah.
You stop hanging out with them because they ain't got no, or work, 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 work. Okay, when we plan a trip, I may not consider you in that plan because you got to work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that sometimes people who have jobs that they don't care for have a different perspective. You know how some people think all work is slavery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that point of view. If you want anything to happen, you're gonna have to do. I can't expect my stuff to grow if I don't get out there and work the land. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Forever, how
Exactly.
long it may take. But when you have
Mm-hmm.
other people that are requiring your time, you have to reconsider. That's my advice to most people. Don't make a situation worse. If you
Mm-hmm.
already don't have no time, getting a girlfriend or having a baby ain't gonna make it no better. Getting
Yeah.
married ain't gonna make it no better, or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
somebody else harping on you about what you're doing.
Exactly. That's
But like
good.
I
That's
say,
good.
it take hard work to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not a person that enjoys that type of thing or what have you, that's your choice. You can't
Mm-hmm.
expect much.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
That's good.
tie their work to their results. The more they work, the better their results.
Mm-hmm. Rico, I've heard people say, and I'm sure you probably have heard it as well. People say, "Well, you know, man, I'm actually married to my job. I'm married to my job, and that's the whole idea. It's like their husband or their wife, their work. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a bad thing if you got an outside family and children that need that same relationship and quality time. See,
Mm-hmm.
that people need to realize how important quality time is,
Yes.
especially when you have family members, children. So that can be a bad thing. I know situations where people become supervisors. They get that salary job. They don't get paid overtime.
Mm-hmm.
They work extra hours. They have to make that sacrifice. At first, they wanted to be a supervisor. Yeah, man, they offered me a supervisor job. $75,000 a year. That's 20,000 more than I make, but I don't make no overtime. But
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden, they up in that 7 days a week.
Yep.
They just happen to come across a plant manager that don't like them. They don't think they even deserve that job, but they can't get rid of them legally. So what they gonna do? They gonna have them coming in work, watching sand,
Mm-hmm.
playing security guard. We need y'all here on the clock. And so
Mm-hmm.
now here it is. You can't even spend time with your family. Calling the wife, where your husband at? Oh man, he's married to that job. Some people do that. And you know what I
Mm-hmm.
really saw is that people disrespected overtime. I was at a job once that worked 12 hours a day, even on Sundays.
Mm.
And I heard the older people say, look, man, don't count that overtime money in your budget. I already knew what they were talking about because I knew if it ever ended or we started having short hours, I was going to have to survive off these short hours. And
Yep.
that's what ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
But people went and picked up bills. I mean, man, when I tell you we worked these overtime hours for 6 or 7 months straight, people
Mm-hmm.
had fat bank accounts. They went to buying cars, man, you name it, left and right. Then all of a sudden they said, well, the sales in iron have dropped in the United States because China is underbidding us. We can't let y'all come to work but 3 hours a day.
Good
Uh-oh.
Lord. Mm.
So we don't went from 84 hours a week to 24.
Mm.
if you lucky.
That's a hit.
But some of these people had bills that was based off that overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And they was used, so now here it is, they scavenging for overtime. Even when we wasn't running on low time or short time, we was getting regular time. They still trying to find a way to get overtime every day. Man, I'm gonna see if I go find something to do. Sooner or later, you start finding people creating jobs, going out here creating messes and making messes so they can stay over a couple of hours and clean up. Slick, trying to get that money. See, because see, baby want them red bottoms. You don't put up on a certain lifestyle. You big daddy war books.
Exactly.
Out here working this hard job, getting dirty and filthy every day. And now she wants you to keep on bringing that money home. Oh, and see, the children, they need iPhones, not using refurbished ones, but we talking about the new ones.
Yeah.
Not the ones you got them last year. I'm talking about the brand new ones.
Yes, sir.
And we got to have them first. Not only iPhones, but the PS5s too. So I need as much overtime as I could get.
Wow. And that's where a person become again a prisoner. I'm gonna read this here. This is our public citizen. He say, we ought to go to a 4-day work week. There is no reason for people to have to struggle as hard as we do. Bishop, what do you say to that? Bishop, you there? Bishop, wake up and go to sleep.
Man, take you off mute, man. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. What do you say to that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll hear you. What do you say to that?
Hey, I like that. I like that concept, that idea. That way, a family can spend some time together. You know, let's go and work these days, get these days taken care of, so we can move on, and your family can still grow, and you'll still be able to provide for them. But I tell people a lot of times, see, I make the job don't make me. Now, whatever title I hold, I'm the El of them. It wasn't the title that made me. It was just who I am, and I made it work for me to the best of my ability. And that's where I am. So, you know, it always worked out well for me. But I'm going to have to get up off this phone, man. I'm at a groundbreaking ceremony, so I will talk to you guys later.
Hey, talk to you later. Appreciate you, Bishop.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? 4-day work week, so you can have more time for the family. Is that a good idea? Will that work?
Yeah, it'll work. Let me tell you what crippled America. This is in my opinion. My opinion, what crippled America is the day that America went to a 24-hour work cycle. That crippled America. Reason being is because it took mamas and daddies out of the households at the most important and critical times of a given child's life. The most important and critical times in a child's life between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., 3 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Those are the most critical and important times in a child's life. And when America went to a 24-hour work cycle, you have parents, because of such things as inflation, costs. I remember a time when a loaf of bread was 99 cents. 89 cents.
Yeah.
Actually, I go back to 59 cents. But because we went to a 24-hour work cycle, a lot of times you had parents who either one was working in two different sectors at two different times, or both parents was working two jobs just to provide just the necessities of a means to a home. So yeah, 4-day work week would be perfect. The other thing is there's several things that's out there that I don't agree with that should be a national holiday that we should have off. For example, I'll just use one. Election day. Should nobody have to work during a national election? Period. That's why when we talk about folks not voting and this, that, and the third, some folks don't vote. And I'm not making excuses for them, just telling you the truth. I remember my daddy, sometimes he used to say it all the time. Man, I don't have time to go down there and stand in no line. I got to be to work. So jobs don't really respect the importance of voting. Why? Because they got these Fortune 500s. They got their money already in the candidacy, so they don't have to vote. They let their little lobbyists. They vote before we vote. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
in so many words, they vote before we vote, but they just vote with words. They vote with action. You know, they vote with getting legislation through. So, in my mind, in terms of voting, there's always been almost a robbery right off the rip because half of the people that you need to vote, they at work and can't get away.
Exactly.
So, you know, when I was in Germany, man, and with this, when I was in Germany, man, I kid you not, I used to wonder how in the world do they get things done? Because they have holidays on top of holidays on top of holidays. The German people do not believe in their form of government, do not believe in overworking the people. They do not believe in it. You know what I mean? So America need to get a grip. They need to get a grip because people are determining themselves and their livelihoods according to their jobs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
When you start talking about married to the job, the first thing I said, the devil is a lie. When I first got this job,
Leonard,
I was trying. The warehouse was a mess. I mean, you could get only one forklift down the aisle. You had material. You couldn't get to some doors. You couldn't. You just couldn't function. I mean, you had material down the aisles, all that kind of stuff. So the first week, I stayed here 20 hours over, trying to get it straight. And when it got time for me to put my time in, it kicked me out. I called my manager. He says, I don't know, I have whatever. I called another supervisor. He says, oh, after 16 hours, that's free. I say, free? I don't work for free.
Yeah.
And I have never worked that much hours again. And I will not. Because when you stop paying me, is when I stop coming in.
That's when you sit down. That's when you sit down, Toussaint.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah, if I can't get it done in 8 hours, shame on me for even taking the job. Because really, in any type of leadership position, if you have to be there, you're not good at what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis. Toya, you there? Toya, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Cassandra?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What's on your heart, sis?
You know, I was looking at the rankings for heart attacks, right? Which we know is stress related a lot of times. And the ranking is China is first, Russia is next. Think about these countries now as I call them off. China, Russia, the United States, and Indonesia. Those are the top rankings. All of those are places that place such a high value on work, on jobs. China is crazy about it, even though they are technologically so far above everybody else. Think about that. How hard their people work in that country, and look at their heart rate. I mean, you have like 30, 40-year-olds in China dropping dead from heart failure.
Good Lord.
So I understand, and I would definitely go for a 4-day work week. I think it would work. We can get just as much done. We know that essential workers would not apply, of course. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to fix how you did that. But, you know, and that's our hospital workers, our firemen. Those people have to be available, our police officers.
Exactly.
But I think it's a great idea. Whoever said that, I think a 4-day work week would be plenty enough to get stuff done.
It just add two more hours on a day. Instead of working 8, work
That's
10.
Something. Yeah.
work 10
Yeah.
hours, go home, you're done. 10 more hours, and maybe you could do on 2 on and 2 off.
Yeah.
Some they can work it up in a way
Yep.
whereas it makes sense. Toy, you want to see you back with us, sis? I think Toy, you stepped away from us for a second. Rico, talk to me.
First off, let me tell Donald, man, his son had an awesome voice, man. That
Yes,
singing that
sir.
he did, man, that boy
Mm.
could sing.
Yes, sir.
That boy good.
Yeah, he is.
Um, you know, this thing that Curtis said was so true, and a lot of times people overlook that because it looks just like an average part of history, but we don't actually realize um how much of an impact it had on the family.
Mm-hmm.
Industrialists
Mm-hmm.
and industrialism. Once that system came around with these manufacturing plants, it created opportunity for families. But then, like Curtis said, all of a sudden they went to this 24-hour system.
Mm-hmm.
All the manufacturing companies stay open 24 hours. So I remember in the 80s, there was a term that came up called latchkey kids.
Yes, sir.
Kids that were coming home with the keys around their neck, opening that door to nobody being there, and it was up to them to do what they needed to do. The mama and daddy got home 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. Maybe they just went to work their second shift. They went to work at 2:30, and the kids don't get home till 3 or 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
So they're there without a
Mm-hmm.
parent in tow
Mm-hmm.
for so long. I was one of those children. Now, when I was living in Florida, there was two. Don't nobody work harder than the Africans and Jamaicans. They say they got 8 jobs.
Yes, sir.
You know how comedians talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a situation where there was an African man that worked day shift, and him and his wife rotated to try to meet the needs of their family. But one day he had to stay over an extra 45 minutes to an hour or so. And he tried to call his wife and tell her that he wasn't going to make it home in time. And he couldn't get her, but she figured, that's what it was. So she was like, well, you know what? I think the kids will be all right at home by themselves for about an hour. Yeah, I think he did get her and tell her he would make it home in a certain amount of time. But within a little 30 minutes in time, between them not being home, one child fell in the swimming pool and the other one fell in trying to get them. Both of them drowned. These weren't even kids that come home from school and open up the door themselves. These were like a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Wow. Wow.
But these parents, they were privileged to their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They put the job first. So I can remember when the 90s, when I was a union rep, this was before I became a union rep, I started getting more politically active and more about labor force and stuff like that. I started seeing more as a family man. Not only was I the latchkey child at one time, but now I'm the parent.
Mm-hmm.
They got to leave work or miss days and get points taken away because I need to go up to the school for an emergency.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there wasn't nothing on the book saying, well, you know what, parents got leave for school emergencies or conferences on first shift. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So on first shift, if something happened at the school, I had to get up there. I had to leave work and they were going to take points. So penalize me for being a daddy because you had to leave our job site.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
This is your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to leave and go take care of your family, you got to take some points off this system that we got.
Mm-hmm.
That these points come off anytime you got to be out. We don't care what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember at this point in time, like I said, Clinton had came up with an idea for the 4-day work week. And it died. I mean, when I tell you it probably only had wind for about a month, this was during the time that he enforced the child support. It was all about improving the families. And this was one of the aspects of it. He wanted to go to the 4-day work week, 10 hours a day.
Yep.
And the companies, the corporations did not want to hear that. And when I tell you it died, everything, if you go look at that bill right now, you don't even see a glimpse of it. You don't even think it exists. You hear people talk about a 4-day work week now like this is something new. Man, this was brought up 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it would be a good thing, very good thing for us to have a 4-day work week, alternating schedule or whatever, even if you had to have some of the days on the weekend. Still give them that alternating schedule. And some jobs do have it. They have a 3 on, 3 off, or 2 on, 2 off, 2 on, 2 off. They'll do it like that. just so you can have days during the week to take care of your family business or just pay your own bills.
Exactly.
But the job can make you a prisoner, because if you get in there at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning and don't get up till 7 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday, who open when it's time for you to pay your utilities?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what it is, man. Leonard, it turned out pretty good, man. What is a job? See, I know you're surprised with that topic, brother. I knew you were surprised.
I'm just, I'm going along, Raheem.
There you go.
I'm listening intently, Raheem.
Intently. There you go. Intentionally. Good there. Rico, what's going on? Go ahead, Leonard.
It's everybody's concept. I believe in you should prepare for work. Yeah, you should be about getting the job that you want. I've worked all types of schedules, shifts, everything. But I do it based on what I need, not on what they got. You know what I'm saying? I go looking for what I want.
Yeah.
That fits for me. So, I don't never feel prisoner to no job or nothing like that. Because usually the only reason why I have engaged in something is because it's appropriate for my schedule. How about sometimes you have free time because you ain't got no clients? You turn to a 4-day work week real fast when you ain't got no clients.
Look here, boy, get all the time in the world.
And you can take 3 days off if you like. You ain't got no clients.
Sure.
But you
go
did a lot of things.
Go on vacation. Ain't nobody coming no way.
One thing I was big about being managing people is the fact that, one, I don't have a personal interest in what you're doing in your personal time. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, we'll give swing shifts, 4-day work weeks, and we'll give you some extra days if you would like. You choose. Even in those environments, people had complaints.
Yeah.
If I got 3 schedules for you to choose from, pick one and be happy with the one you chose.
Yep. Exactly.
Especially when opportunities are available. A lot of people don't spend enough time to realize, people say, well, the family this and the family that. I knew when I had a family, I didn't want my wife to work. So guess what? Ta-da. We got to do the best we can, because a lot of people wasn't around here chasing them dollars like that.
Yeah.
They just weren't. A lot of people had interest in their families, and that's why they got married, and they had wives, and the wives were at home sometimes working while the man was out in the corporate America working. The wife was running a home business and taking care of kids. It's your responsibility to make it work for you.
The best way that
these
you can.
Other people are not concerned. That's why when people talk about not voting, Family Medical Leave Act is a big issue in the workplace. That's why you need the Family Medical Leave Act. If I remember, one of the big issues with us was working on a Sunday.
Yep.
That was a big issue with my mom. Was like, you can work on a job, but don't let that job rob you of your Sundays. Or your Sabbath days, wherever you celebrate them.
Yeah.
That used to be an issue. But slowly, as people wanted other things, they started working more and doing other things. Most people have what they have because that's what they chose.
Yeah, exactly. You took the job, you selected the job, you went and got the job. Now you got the job. You don't want to do the job.
You knew how much it paid and everything before you got it. You knew what you want. You know that new Escalade costs $100,000.
Yeah.
If you want it, you're gonna have to get that money. That's why you're doing what you're doing. It ain't got nothing to do with them people up there at the job.
I ain't never seen no pie in the sky fall down to nobody's lap.
I don't criticize nobody's hustle.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. Good deal. Time for us to get out of here for today. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
Man, if you missed today's show and would like to see it in its entirety, you can tune in at www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Leonard, your prayers out.
Dear Heavenly Father, thanks again for giving us an opportunity to speak to those over the airwaves, to give them an opportunity to understand that all of us have something in common. We hope that we have reached out and touched people to get them to look at that humanity part of every situation. These are the blessings we ask in Christ's name.
Amen. Kirk, anything on your heart before we get out of here, sir?
You know, brothers really, truly laid out some pertinent information that we as Americans as a whole need to seriously start considering and looking at. And I just ask that people take what was said today and research it. If you don't believe what we're saying, research it, man. These folks are really, 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 really getting over on the masses, and I just wish people would wake up, man. Other than that, man, have a wonderful day, man.
To God be the glory. Hey, praise God, brother. Lynn, I'm gonna put this on the screen. Read this before we get out of this. This is our public
We
citizens.
will never get the 4-day work week as long as we are bickering over stuff like Rittenhouse. The media wants to focus us on culture war instead of actually improving our lives.
Agree, disagree. Anybody have any comment before we get out of here on that?
I
Like I
agree.
said,
I think him and Curtis pretty much hitting it on the head. We need to wake up. You know, we getting bamboozled, the masses, and we're being bamboozled by a system that uses both sides, two sides, to confuse us, have us moving in a dysfunctional manner, embracing some things and enabling those things to impact us when really and truly they don't benefit us, like buying chitlins.
Exactly. Wow. Hey, I guess that's it for today. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK, your media group, and associates for being a part of your day. It is now 10:06. You're about to exit the morning glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, right, this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. You get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Love you, and do me a favor. Take care of each other. Goodbye.